Two brothers from a small German town built a shoe company together in the 1920s. By the 1940s, they hated each other so intensely they split the company in half, started competing brands, and refused to speak for the rest of their lives. One brother founded Adidas, the other founded Puma. Their rivalry divided their entire town down the middle. People married within their chosen brand. Stores refused to stock both. The feud lasted for decades and shaped two of the most recognizable sports brands in history. Today, Adidas and Puma are both multi-billion-dollar global companies. They are two of the most recognized names in sports, and they exist because two brothers destroyed their relationship over a business dispute nobody alive today can fully explain. If you are interested in how family businesses tear themselves apart and somehow create empires anyway, subscribe to SnapOldBusiness. We cover the real stories behind legendary companies. Subscribe now and let us get into the feud that changed sports forever. Adolf and Rudolf Dassler were born in Herzogenaurach, Bavaria, in the early 1900s. Their father was a cobbler, their mother ran a laundry service. The family was working class, not wealthy, but skilled with their hands. Adolf, the younger brother, went by the nickname Adi. He was quiet, introverted, obsessed with shoes and sports. Rudolf, or Rudi, was the older brother, outgoing, charismatic, better with people and sales. The personality contrast would define everything that came later. In 1919, Adi started making sports shoes in his mother's laundry room. He hand-stitched leather, tested different sole designs, and tried to solve the problem of how athletes could get better grip and support. This was not a hobby, it was an obsession. Rudi joined him in 1924. Together they founded the Gebruder Dassler Fabrik, which translates to Dassler Brothers Shoe Factory. Adi focused on design and production. Rudi handled sales and business relationships. It was a perfect division of labor. For a while, the Dassler brothers succeeded early by focusing on athletes rather than regular consumers. They were not making shoes for everyday people. They were making shoes specifically for runners, soccer players, and track athletes. This specialization set them apart. In 1928, German athletes wore Dassler shoes at the Amsterdam Olympics. By the 1936 Berlin Olympics, the Dassler company had become well known in European sports circles. This was when the breakthrough happened. The 1936 Olympics were hosted by Nazi Germany. Adolf Hitler used the games as propaganda to promote Aryan superiority. Jesse Owens, the black American sprinter, won 4 gold medals wearing Dassler shoes. That moment quietly humiliated the Nazi regime and elevated the Dassler brand internationally. Owens' success in Dassler shoes proved they worked at the highest level of competition. The company was thriving. Orders were coming in from across Europe. The brothers were building something significant. Then World War II started, and everything fell apart. During the war, the Dassler factory was repurposed to produce boots for German soldiers. Adi and Rudi were both called to serve, though neither saw significant combat. The business was put on hold. The relationship between the brothers began to deteriorate. Tensions had been building for years before the war. Adi was focused entirely on shoes and product quality. Rudi wanted to expand the business into other areas. Their wives reportedly did not get along. Small disagreements accumulated into resentment. Near the end of the war, an incident occurred that many historians believe triggered the final break. American forces were bombing the area around Herzogenaurach. Adi and his family took shelter in a bunker where Rudi and his wife were already hiding. Adi allegedly said something like, "The dirty bastards are back again." He was referring to the Allied bombers. Rudi believed Adi was talking about him and his wife. That misunderstanding, or insult, depending on who you believe, was never resolved. The damage was done. After the war ended, Rudi was briefly detained by American forces. He was accused of being a member of the Gestapo, the Nazi secret police. The charges were eventually dropped, but Rudi believed Adi had informed on him to the Allies to get rid of him. Adi always denied this accusation. There is no evidence proving either version of the story, but the accusation destroyed whatever relationship the brothers had left. By 1948, the split was final. There was no going back. The brothers divided the company assets. Adi kept the factory on one side of the river that ran through Herzogenaurach. Rudi took a smaller building on the other side. The town itself was about to become a symbol of their rivalry. Adi founded a new company and named it after himself. Adi Dassler became Adidas. Rudi originally called his company Rudi, combining his first and last names, then changed it to Puma. Two competing sports brands were born from one family dispute. The town of Herzogenaurach became divided along company lines. If you worked for Adidas, you did not socialize with Puma families. Bars and restaurants served one brand or the other, not both. The rivalry was not just business, it was social and personal. Children were discouraged from dating someone from the rival company's family. Friendships ended. The division ran so deep that people would check what shoes you were wearing before deciding whether to talk to you. It sounds absurd, but it was real. Both brothers poured everything into their competing companies. Adi was the better designer. His 3-stripe logo became iconic. His shoes were technically superior. He focused obsessively on product quality and athlete endorsements. Rudi was the better marketer and dealmaker. Puma signed aggressive sponsorship deals, often outbidding Adidas for athletes and teams. The competition made both companies better and more ruthless. The hatred drove innovation. At the 1960 Rome Olympics, both companies sent representatives to convince athletes to wear their shoes. Rumors suggest they bribed athletes with cash payments to switch brands. The rivalry had become cutthroat. Ethics was secondary to winning. By the 1970s, Adidas dominated soccer, Puma dominated track and field. Both companies had expanded globally. The feud that started in a small Bavarian town had become a worldwide competition, and the brothers still refused to speak. Rudi Dassler died in 1974 at the age of 76. Adi died 4 years later in 1978 at age 77. They were buried in the same cemetery in Herzogenaurach, but on opposite ends, as far apart as possible. Even in death, the separation continued. Neither brother attended the other's funeral. Their children continued the rivalry for years. The companies remained competitors. The feud outlived the men who started it, and honestly, the bitterness never fully went away. In 2009, employees from Adidas and Puma played a friendly soccer match in Herzogenaurach to symbolically end the rivalry. It was a nice gesture, but the competitive tension between the brands never really disappeared. The history is too deep. Today, Adidas generates over $22 billion in annual revenue. Puma generates around $8 billion. Both companies are publicly traded and operate in nearly every country. The feud between Adi and Rudi is taught in business schools as a case study in family business conflicts. The question that always gets asked is, did the rivalry make them stronger or did it waste energy? Would the combined company have been unstoppable, or would the brothers have destroyed each other anyway if they had stayed together? Here is what the story teaches. First, competition drives innovation. Both brothers built better products because they were trying to beat each other. Hatred, as destructive as it is personally, can be a powerful motivator in business. Second, unresolved conflict gets expensive. Imagine what Adi and Rudi could have built if they had stayed together. The combined company would have had Adi's design genius and Rudi's marketing aggression. It would have been unstoppable. Third, family and business do not mix cleanly. Most family businesses either split or destroy relationships. The Dassler brothers did both. Mixing blood and business creates conflicts that are nearly impossible to resolve rationally. The rivalry between Adidas and Puma also shows how personal grudges can drive entire industries forward. The two companies pushed each other to innovate constantly. Athletes benefited. Consumers benefited. The hatred had productive side effects, but there is a human cost that gets forgotten. Two brothers who built something together spent 40 years hating each other. Families were divided, a town was split, relationships were destroyed. The business success does not erase that damage. The Dassler story is also a reminder that success and dysfunction can coexist. Both Adidas and Puma became global empires despite, or maybe because of, the toxic relationship at their origin. Dysfunction does not always mean failure. Modern Herzogenaurach has moved past the feud, at least officially. The town celebrates both companies. There are museums dedicated to both brands. Tourists visit specifically because of the rivalry. The division that once tore the town apart is now its identity. The lesson for anyone running a family business is stark. Get everything in writing, establish clear rules, and have an exit plan if things go wrong. The Dassler brothers did none of these things, and it cost them their relationship. In the end, Adi and Rudi Dassler built two of the most valuable sports brands in history by refusing to speak to each other for 40 years. They are buried in the same cemetery but chose to be separated even in death. The feud that destroyed their family created an industry. Subscribe if this story was worth your time. See you in the next one.